Hey everybody, welcome back to DeHaven Family Farm. Thanks so much for joining me for today's video. What we're going to be working on is planting or seeding a new hayfield. So in this video, you're going to see a lot of the work that went into that. What you will not see is the original plowing and some of the disking that I did in the field. Those were separate previous videos that I've already made, so we're not going to worry about that. What you will see is me kind of working over the field. We got to do something about leveling it a little bit better. It's been wet down there and the disc is having trouble getting things nice and smooth. Of course, a lot of rocks too, so we're dealing with that. And then we're going to seed it down. We're just going to broadcast it. And then what I'd like to do is get the H out, which is behind me, and the cultipacker that I bought at the auction last fall. And after we seed everything, I'd like to go ahead and pack it all in. So hopefully that'll be everything that's in today's video, and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching. All right, well, the fun continues. This field here, I'm going to spin you around. This field is looking better. You can see all of the rocks that are in it. Every time you touch this piece of ground, it's just rocks. Doesn't matter what you do with it. I've been over it 3 times with the skid steer and the Vernig rock bucket to get all the big ones, but every time you go over it, you're just churning up more rocks. You know, there's another one there. So I used this Super Gill soil pulverizer. It has 2 rows of, I guess you can call them sort of teeth on it. And then this particular model has 2 pulverizer rollers on it. A lot of them just have the one. This is something I bought this year off Marketplace. I haven't done a video on it, but well, here it is. So I think you saw a short clip of me using it. That tool is not something I wanted to spend hours on in this field to try and smooth things out. That's not what I bought the tool for. It's not what it's really meant to be used for. But it did a pretty decent job given the fact that there was a bunch of rocks here. So why I ended up having to do this field is going into hay, so I want it to be pretty smooth. You know, I don't want to be bouncing along on the tractor for the next 5, 7, 10 years in this field because I didn't take the time to try and prep it. What I really need to get is a soil finishing tool, maybe a cultimulcher, maybe a Perfecta cultivator with leveling bars and a rolling basket. I don't know. So anyway, normally I'm okay. Normally I don't need a finishing tool. Normally I've got the disc here, this nice heavy disc, and I drag my log here behind it, which is starting to get wore out. You can see that end is thicker than that end. Normally that does a good job for me to get things nice and smooth. So anyway, I've rambled on, tried to give you an explanation. So the next clip in this video is going to be us with the tractor and the seeder, and we're going to start seeding. So we got the 5140 here with our broadcast spreader, and I have it set for seeding, grass seed. There's a little bit left in there from a previous thing I was doing. So if you'd seen a previous video where I was overseeding hay fields, you already know what the mix is that we're using here. I have this pasture mix that I bought this year. It has well, I don't even remember now. So let's look at the tag. Here we go. Enhanced Tall Fescue, Conquest Timothy, Brave Brand Perennial Rye, Red Clover Medium, Sunrise Orchard Grass, Prince Brand Intermediate Rye, Ginger Kentucky Blue. So that is everything that is in this bag. And on top of that, I'm blending in some of the same stuff. I have some red clover, medium red clover here, some Timothy in this bag and some orchard grass in that bag. Basically, this is stuff that's been sitting around a couple of years. So I am bulking up this with these 3 things. And that way I have seed that goes a little bit further, and I've got some older seed, some newer seed, so we should do well. So I'm just gonna blend all this together in the hopper, and the field is as good as it's gonna be to go plant. So let me get this in there, and then we're gonna head down and actually plant. All right, here we are, ready to start. Of course, it's windy outside, but it's always windy here, so it is what it is. We got the GPS set up. I know I could probably see where my tire tracks are, but because I'm doing grass seed here, I want to make sure that, you know, if I miss a foot or something, if I'm a foot off eyeballing it, you're really going to notice that. Not so much, you know, not such a big deal with lime. Fertilizer, yeah, you'd see a stripe or 2, but it's not the end of the world. But I got to make sure I try not to miss seeding this. So we got the seeder back here, got a couple 100 pounds of seed in there. I got to reach out here and open that up. So we should be ready to go here. So let's get out and see how we're doing. There's definitely a good distribution of all kinds of seeds here. I'm happy with that coverage. I hope you guys can see. There's definitely a couple seeds per square inch here, so that'll be good. Like I said, we'll cultipack them in, so I think we'll be all right. So let's keep going. Got that all seeded. Gotta keep moving, lots to do today. So we're down the field here now. We got the H purring away. Got the cultipacker here. It's a Brilliant with a 4-inch axle. I don't remember how wide it is. I bought, like I said, I bought it at the auction. There's still got the tag on it. Can't read the, I think there's a model number on it. There is a serial number on that though. So I made one round with it. Let's see how wide the thing is. It's about 11 foot wide, so it must be about a 10 foot packing distance. I thought maybe it was a 12. Whatever, I don't care. So that's what we're going to be using here today on this field. I did make one round with it already because I've never used the thing before, and the H has been sitting for a long time. So I wanted to make sure that everything was going to be good to go with that. And I didn't start the video and then something immediately broke down. So I will let you guys in on a shameful secret. So while I was seeding this, I found out it was ridiculously bumpy. That was because I was trying to go crossways with that soil pulverizer earlier this morning to try and fill in some of the grooves. The disc I had been this way, so I was kind of trying to change direction. Looked like it turned out pretty good, but it was quite bumpy because, you know, you got your dips going this way and I'm trying to drive this way. So what I had to do is I came with the disc, and you can see the little lines here. I gently set the disc down in the soil just enough to kind of churn things up a bit, which of course stirred up 18 million more rocks. I'm gonna have to hand pick these. So we're gonna go ahead and get it all packed in today, and then I will have to come through. I think I can maybe get my kids to help me, and we're gonna come through and hand pick whatever needs to be hand picked after we pack stuff down. So like this just went through, and obviously there's 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 5 right here. So I imagine we're gonna have quite a few skid steer buckets. But anyway, hey, let's get rolling here. Boy, you just look at it and the stones pop out of the ground. Well, there it is, all done, but not done. So many rocks to pick. It's so bumpy yet too because of all the rocks. It's kind of frustrating because you know, I had plowed this so long ago, and there was so much soft dirt here to work, and then we just had 2 weeks of rain, and I lost all the cushion in the soil. So, you know, the disc would go through, and it, you know, it would dig in as much as a disc does, but there's not enough of a fluff layer to push a lot of these rocks in now. We've lost it because everything's settled so much because of the 5 inches or 6 inches or whatever rain we've gotten over 2 weeks. The only way to really get that fluff layer back would have been a chisel plow it, and I'm not going back over it again. So I will have to see if I can round up my kids and we'll have to do some hand picking on this, get it cleaned up the rest of the way, and see if we have to hit it with the roller or not after that. I might pick the rocks and let it get rained on once or twice and see how the dirt kind of washes and settles in. And I know it's not going to be perfect, it's not a yard, but I just would like to be able to mow hay without jouncing around. You know, you go over the field so many times, mow, ted, rake, bale, you know, fertilize, you're just over the field so much. I just want it to be decent, you know. So anyway, my auction find there did pretty well. I didn't do anything to that other than bring it down here. I don't see any grease fittings on it. I was gonna paint it over the winter, but I had other projects that came up and I didn't get a chance to do it. H is working good. We just have the hydraulic system to service, and couple leaks there, but other than that, everything seems to be working good. So this was kind of a haphazard video about planting a hayfield. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the tractor action, and yeah, maybe you'll consider coming back and watching another video. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I do hope to see you on another video. All right, little bonus footage at the end here. We got all the bigger rocks picked off, and my daughter is on the tractor way down there, and she's doing the rolling. That's the only roller we have. Goes on Little Blue, our 45 horse compact tractor. So she's hitting that up. So hopefully we'll be pretty good now, and it'll rain, kind of settle the dirt in the rest of the way, and we should be all set.